Good afternoon, my lovely little Capri Suns. Um, I've never actually tried that, using that as an intro before. For some reason, it didn't quite sound right. Whoa! Okay, apparently I'm in first-person view. That's right, you can do that on this game, I forgot. If you press what's known as the R3 button, which is done by pressing the right analog stick straight down into the controller, then you go into first-person view, so guess it's worth noting. So, we picked up those 3 favor side quests, but we never actually got around to doing the second one. Or the second one that I actually picked up, which was the lady who said that she needed the 2 bottles of spring water and the 2 plainswort flowers. Well, those can only be found by getting them from draw points out here in the overworld. So that's what I'm going to do right now. But in addition to that, I'm also going to do something else. So let's get in a fight here. After all, we haven't seen enough action around on this, you know. So, I mean, we basically saw no action at all yesterday. It's me just fumbling through trying to find something to say over all the dialogue sequences. But, as you can see, since we've leveled up from having gone through the Deep Dark Wood, now these monsters are pretty much no match for us anymore. But it's going to get even worse than that. Like, we're going to be even more overpowered if I'm hoping, you know, to find what I'm hoping to find. Well, I shouldn't say if I'm hoping to find, because I definitely am hoping to find. Whether or not I actually do find them, though, that's a whole nother story. There's a draw point right over there by the lake. Sometimes it's kind of hard to see them, but yeah, there we go. There's a bottle of spring water right there. So, if I wanted to, I could just stand by that draw point and wait for it to respawn, because it will do that. But it hardly seems worth it. I mean, we might as well go around and look for some other stuff. In the meantime, we'll just be fighting here. So, let us do that then, shall we?
We did it!
Not a whole lot of experience to be gained out here, but, you know, every little bit helps. You might gain 1 or 2 levels while you're out here. Probably just 1 level, I wouldn't see. Have we seen this enemy before? I don't think we have. The infant.
Let's go!
Which is a little clever play on the word elephant. Except it's a baby elephant. Probably take care of this guy first. So we can take care of the infant on its own. Okay, apparently he's not as bad as I thought he would be. And as you can see, we now that we have our new outfit, we obviously have a different victory stance. So we're not wiping sweat off our brow anymore. So yay on that. Anyway, these draw points are not exactly the most easy thing to find, which is why it's a good idea to have other things to do. And one of the things I would like to do... Okay, I need to go ahead and explain this, okay? At some point later in the game, you're going to get a spell. And that spell is called Seek Fortune. Now, what that spell does is it actually reveals the location of hidden treasure chests in the overworld. Now, you won't actually see them on the overworld map. You'll see them on... Well, you won't see them on the overworld itself, you'll see them on the map screen to tell you where they are. But otherwise, you're just going to have to wander around the overworld and press X over and over again to search for them. But here's the thing. You don't actually have to have the spell to get the treasures. If you already know where they are, then you can go ahead and get them right now. Or you can get them as soon as you want. So, a couple of the things that I'm going to be out here getting is going to be those treasure chests. There are 100 of them in all. In the entire overworld, there's a total of 100 of them. So, and needless to say, there's plenty of them here on this continent, so... Alright, I'll probably just cut that battle out. In fact, I might be cutting a lot of battles out of this video, because we're going to get into a lot of them as we wander around here. It's another draw point here. And there you go, plainswort flower, so, okay. So we got 1 of each now. That's good news. Now, if I'm not mistaken, shit. I forgot how you look at the actual map. And I got this guy chasing after me here. Oh, wait a minute, that... Yeah, okay. Sometimes you'll see Drippy chasing after and you'll think it's an enemy. But then sometimes it turns out not to be. Okay, I'm back. I decided to cut up to this lake here. You can almost see it from where I was 1 second ago, but one of the hidden treasures is right there by the lake that you just saw me pick up. And it is known as the Giant's Tooth. The Giant's Tooth is an accessory that raises attack by 1. As you can see on the right, it pretty much says what it does. I'd like to give this to my familiar instead if I can. I don't know if he can actually equip it. Oh, yeah, I guess he can't. Well, that kind of blows, but, well, if he can't equip it, he just can't, but, I mean, I'll put it on Oliver, but I don't really see the point, because I'm not going to be using Oliver to attack. You know, the only reason you really use Oliver in a fight is to cast spells. Most notably the heal spell, but... can't really change that now, but I guess it's better to have it than not. I mean, what the hey. Ugh. Yeah, and you can talk to Drippy on the overworld, too. Or you can talk to Drippy pretty much anytime you want. And he'll usually have some sage advice for you concerning your current situation, your whereabouts, and whatnot. Get over here. Okay, this here is a gold glim. You saw me pick one of these up in the boss fight earlier with Oliver. And this is what happens if you pick one up with the familiar. It's like his super attack, basically. I think it's hilarious how, like, his animation for it, he keeps on looking at the screen, like, with his head down, but his eyes looking up at the enemy. It's all intimidating and everything. And, like, every single time his mouth gets closer and closer to the bottom of his face, to the point that he has, like, no chin. And it's like, how close can we get his mouth to the bottom of his face? And yet still... Wait a minute, what is this? Oh, another bottle of spring water. Good. Okay, we got 2 of those now. Let's see. There's another treasure up on these plateaus over there. But how do I get up there from here? I'm trying to think. Just gonna run away from these guys for a minute here, as they got the jump on me. I don't know what happened there. It's just one of those stupid things that happens sometimes. Whoa, man, that was pretty decent damage. And I thought I quit the Giant's Tooth on myself, but if I didn't know better, I think I'd put it on him. Maybe Oliver's attack does add up with us. I don't know. There is a big forest north of Ding Dong Dell, supposed. Whoa, what is that up there? See that up there on the cliff up there? Holy crap. That's probably one of those hunts you'll have to get later on in the game. Uh-oh. Okay, seriously, these fights are about to get on my nerves, let me tell you. Oh, you can see the draw points right up by the camera. We can't get to that one because it's on top of the plateau, but that was kind of cool looking. Where the heck am I, anyway? Jeez, you know what? I thought I was by the town. It turns out I'm not. I'm actually up by Deep Dark Wood. So there's actually a plateau southeast of Deep Dark Wood. It's right over here. This is where it is on the map. I figured out how to show the map finally. So let's get over here and look around. This is going to be so great if I can find this. Holy shit, there it is. The well-worn sword. Okay, we're putting this on our familiar right now. Check out the increase on attack on that. I mean, okay, it's not exactly mind-blowing here, but then, well, we're not trying to totally break the game here. If you go to the weapon shop in Ding Dong Dell, that's one of the weapons you can buy there, so it's not like I'm insanely overpowered here or something. However, getting that weapon for free is definitely something that I will not complain about. Shoot. Let's see. We need to head back towards town is what we need to do. I didn't even realize I was that far away from it. I think I'd wandered that far. So let's try out this new weapon, see how it works.
Here goes.
See how much damage we can do now to these guys. Holy crap, yes. Man, that is beautiful. Oh, that is just beautiful. I mean, when you're saying holy crap because you're doing double-digit damage, you really know that you're at the beginning of an RPG to be saying that. I mean, I was saying the same thing when I was doing double digits in Dragon Warrior, though, right? How far are we? We ain't got a ways to go here. There's some bones on the way back that have a treasure next to them. But I'm not sure if I'm going to run into those or not. I think they're more like south. Well, this might be them up over this hill here. Let me try it. Oh, damn, how lucky can you get, man? Supple leather. I found the supple breasts, man. Like, seriously, the only time you ever... I don't know. Okay, hang on a second. I see a draw point. Hopefully we can get that other plainswort flower here. Ah, no. Booster shoots. Oh, such luck. Well, the other thing is, with the plainswort flower, sometimes it can drop in battle as an item, so... There's always that, too, so don't be afraid to fight for it if that's what you... You know, if that's what you end up having to do, or just is. Okay, I was about to say earlier that there was a forest north of the town. Now that we're back by the town, let's check that out. That was nice. A wooden sword right there. It's the top of the waterfall. It's not gonna... The wooden sword is not going to be as good as the well-worn sword, obviously. But, hey, we have it, so... In worst case scenario, we'll sell it, make a small profit. I'm thinking that forest has to be up here on top of the cliffs. Around the north side of the town, like I was saying before. So if we look around up here... See, what they say is that there's like two large forests with a single tree in between them. And it's right around the single tree is where the actual treasure is. I don't think this is it. It's not really big enough. It's probably around the other side here. Man, I could just look at this overworld all day long. Okay, there's a single tree here. I'm not sure. This one doesn't really separate two forests, though, but... No, Drippy, I don't want to talk to you. I'm trying to check out this tree. I'm trying to reach Lando Calrissian. Wait a minute, let me explain. Can you believe Harrison Ford is going to be in the new Star Wars? Like, they're going to have to give him some serious makeup. This might be... Yeah, this is the tree. And a couple bottles of coffee there. For MP refill, which is nice. Because Ni no Kuni is not... Ni no Kuni is not unlike most other RPGs in the sense that when it comes to magic items, refilling items, you know, that's going to charge a lot for those. Okay, guys, I think it's time for me to finally go ahead and feeding my familiars here. So, this is what you do. Choose the cage. Choose which familiar you want to feed, which obviously we only have one, so just choose the one that you have. And then give him the food that he likes, which in this case, for the mite, since I just happen to know already that it's chocolate, you might have to play around with different foods to see which one he likes. But notice the pink hearts that appear after he eats them. That's really the most important thing to keep in mind, is to only feed... Like, if you're going to feed him something, only feed him something that gives him the pink hearts. And here's... Oh, man, how do I even begin to explain this? Oh, this is really complicated. See on the right side where it says growth limit, and it says +1 out of 10? Basically what that means is that 10 is the most stats he can gain right now. So he could gain like 5 attack and 5 defense, or 7 attack and 3 defense, or something like that. But the most stats he can gain total by eating right now is 10. The only way to make that 10 go up is to increase his familiarity, which is shown by the hearts in the middle of the screen. And the only way to make the familiarity go up is to feed him food that makes those pink hearts appear. So that's why you want to get the pink hearts up, so that you can increase that growth limit, so he can gain more than just 10 stats total from the foods. Eventually he'll be able to gain 20 or 30. Now, eventually, like, you know, the stats gradually, if you focus too much on one stat, it starts to grow more slowly over time the higher it gets. So it will be better, or it will make sense to, like, give him some other stat foods, because those stats will go up by a much higher amount. But the problem is, if you do that, they're going to raise that growth limit number, and you're going to get to the top of your growth limit sooner, you know, by sharing with those other stats, sharing those other stats in the... Oh my god, I don't know if that makes any sense, like... Maybe when we get further in the game, that'll make more sense, and I'll try to explain it more the more I do it as we get further into the game. But at any rate... So, here's the weapon guy explaining all the various crap to us about how to equip weapons and things like that, which is obviously... Anyone who's ever played an RPG knows how to do that, so not a big deal. Just remember, the accessories aren't the only things you can equip, you know. Flipping heck, man, speaking of words, or wands. That's right, we do need to get the new wand off of the king. I have to make sure and go do that. So I was saying earlier, this guy looks like he's wearing a bird mask. Look at his hands. A bird wouldn't have fingers. Like, he's the opposite of a Goomba because he has arms. And worse yet, he even has fingers, too. I mean, I don't know, man. Anyway, let's take a look and see what he's got here. As you can see, he has the well-worn sword. So it's not like it was a big deal that we have having to find that for free. But it is a big deal that we're saving 160 gold, given that, like I said earlier, gold tends to be a huge issue in this game. Spiral Horn, I'm going to pick up one of these, actually. You'll see why later. Don't want to spoil too much more on that. So if you press R, you can go to the next category of item, which is defensive items. There's not a whole lot that my familiar can use here. As you can see, it's not making his numbers go up. But when you see something that will make his numbers go up, it'll show up in a bright green color, like so. So, the shield, yeah, that's definitely a worthy investment. We'll put that on him straight away, which is nice that they let you do this right here in the store as you're buying items. You get another Giant's Tooth if you want, or you can get your first one here if you want to. Again, that's a very expensive item. It's a good thing I found one for free in the overworld. So I'm also going to go ahead and sell some stuff while I'm here. You can pretty much sell anything you want to anybody, so that doesn't really matter. I'm going to sell the wooden sword here. I was thinking I might save it for another familiar. I'm not sure where I got that from. I think I got that from one of the side quests, actually. But I don't really think we're going to need it. I'm tempted to sell the sweetie pie here. Just because, I mean, look how expensive that is. Man, I gotta tell you, that is very tempting. I don't know why I don't just do it, but anyway. I did pick up another plainswort flower in a battle off screen, so I do have 2 of those here. Along with the 2 spring waters, so we're good there. So I'll make sure and drop those off as soon as we leave this place. Otherwise, I don't think there's really that much else we have to do here. So we got the kid, we got the treasure. Did we ever get that spell? I don't remember if we got that spell to open the blue treasure chest in the other building, but eventually we'll have to check that out. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk to this lady and turn in our things here. It actually turned out to be a lot easier. See, this side quest took me a while to do my first time, because I didn't realize the flowers. Because I knew where you could get the spring water, but I didn't realize the flowers were out there too. So I was up to like my 3rd town before I eventually finally came back here and did this. That's how it is though, the first time you play a game, when you don't know everything. So, you know, that's the way it happens. So, I'm going to go cabbage head on you guys. And I'm going to say, see you next time. Here on Let's Play Ni no Kuni. Goodbye, y'all.